One of hip-hop's wealthiest moguls just got sentenced to 50 months behind bars, and no one saw it coming. Today, we're breaking down the stunning fall of Sean Diddy, combs from music empire to federal prison time. But what really sealed his fate? You'll hear the evidence, the courtroom twist, and the explosive detail the media barely touched. An early morning raid in Miami shattered the illusion of untouchability. SWAT teams, helicopters, and a stunned Sean Diddy Combs in handcuffs made headlines worldwide. For decades, Diddy had ruled the music and business scene, seemingly above the law. But that day, the FBI's carefully planned operation brought him down. The world watched as the icon who once owned the stage was escorted out in shackles. The suddenness left fans and critics alike in disbelief. His last Instagram post hours before simply read, "God's got me." The indictment detailed a complex web: federal conspiracy, money laundering, and trafficking. These weren't just buzzwords, they reflected years of alleged illegal activities intertwined with his legitimate empire. Prosecutors claimed the operation spanned multiple states, involving layered shell companies and offshore accounts. The charges read like a criminal thriller, but centered on one man known for his business savvy and cultural influence. Federal surveillance had monitored his every move for 17 months, gathering evidence that no one outside the investigation anticipated. Sean Combs built his legacy by taking risks and defying norms. From launching Bad Boy Records to turning Ciroc vodka into a global brand, his ambition reshaped entertainment and business. Yet ambition can blur lines, and some decisions crossed into dangerous territory. Sources close to him described a man whose confidence sometimes tipped into recklessness. While he inspired millions, his rise was shadowed by whispers of questionable deals and partnerships. One insider described him as both a genius and a ticking time bomb. Federal investigators uncovered a labyrinth of shell companies, silent partners, and complex financial transactions. The case wasn't just about Diddy, it implicated a network that operated behind a carefully crafted facade. Addresses in offshore havens like the Bahamas linked multiple entities, funneling money in ways designed to avoid scrutiny. Complexity was their shield, but in this case, it became their undoing. The tangled web pointed to systemic concealment rather than isolated incidents. During the trial, a pivotal moment came when the prosecution played a 3-minute wiretap recording. The courtroom fell silent as Diddy's own voice laid bare the case against him. His expression, stoic until then, shifted, showing cracks in the carefully maintained facade. That clip wasn't just evidence. It was a turning point, revealing the human behind the headlines. Conversations once hidden became public proof, turning whispers into undeniable facts. The investigation unraveled thanks to unexpected betrayals. A former bodyguard, a logistics manager, even a cousin, people closest to Diddy turned state's evidence. When immunity deals are on the table, loyalty becomes fragile. Witnesses painted a picture of fear and control, then shifted to cooperation under pressure. These flips provided prosecutors with inside knowledge, filling gaps and confirming suspicions. One source remarked, "The man who once commanded respect now feared those he trusted." The entertainment world watched closely as peers responded in real time. Some celebrities chose silence, others distanced themselves quickly to protect their own brands. 50 Cent, notorious for his social media presence, posted mocking memes, while Jay-Z's camp publicly avoided involvement. Mary J. Blige was among the few who showed up in court, silently offering support. The spectacle highlighted how quickly alliances shift when scandal strikes, exposing the fragile nature of fame and loyalty. Diddy's business empire took an immediate hit. Ciroc vodka paused advertising, Revolt Media faced leadership upheaval, and Sean John Apparel saw sudden retailer cancellations. Corporate partners severed ties, fearing association with scandal. Analysts noted that brand loyalty has a half-life measured in hours, not days. One insider described the fallout as a $400 million disappearing act, reflecting lost revenue and damaged trust. The empire that once symbolized success now symbolized risk. The court's decision to sentence Diddy to 50 months surprised many who expected either a harsher punishment or a lighter sentence. Factors such as his cooperation with investigators, lack of prior criminal history, and sealed information played a role in the judge's calculation. Legal experts noted that sentencing often balances punishment with incentives for cooperation. Rumors swirl about sealed indictments related to his associates, suggesting that Diddy's sentence might be just the opening chapter in a broader crackdown. Justice, it seems, is as strategic as it is punitive. While Diddy isn't bankrupt, his financial empire faces serious disruptions. Key assets, including bank accounts and properties, are frozen or subject to seizure. Lawsuits and creditor claims loom large, restricting his liquidity and control. Wealth is often seen as power, but without access, it becomes a static number. Before his arrest, Diddy bragged about owning multiple jets and lavish estates. Now, those symbols of success serve as collateral in a fight to hold onto his legacy. For the first time, several victims stepped forward publicly during the trial, sharing harrowing accounts under oath. Their testimonies painted a consistent picture of manipulation, exploitation, and loss. These voices, long silenced by fear or circumstance, finally found a platform in the courtroom. Their stories revealed the human cost behind headlines and highlighted the ripple effects beyond business deals. One victim tearfully said, "I waited 15 years for justice." The emotional weight added a stark contrast to the financial narrative dominating the news. An unrelated drug bust in Atlanta unexpectedly cracked open the investigation into Diddy's operations. As law enforcement followed the money trail from that bust, they discovered connections leading directly to his business empire. This domino effect demonstrated how even peripheral cases can unravel powerful networks. What began as a routine drug arrest escalated into a high-profile federal case. One cryptic ledger note seized read simply, "Handled by Puff," linking directly to Diddy himself. Sean Combs often spoke of his children as his greatest motivation, yet this scandal has cast a shadow over his family. The media spotlight has intensified, with lawsuits and public speculation affecting his kids' privacy and well-being. The legacy of Kim Porter, his late partner, now intersects with a very public legal battle. Family insiders report tension and fractures, with some relatives reportedly distancing themselves. Fame's double-edged sword becomes painfully clear when personal and public lives collide so sharply. Despite his celebrity status, prison life will offer no special treatment. Diddy is set to serve his sentence in a medium-security facility housing around 1,300 inmates. He will face the same routines, rules, and restrictions as anyone else. Guards reportedly were initially starstruck, but quickly reminded him that fame carries no weight behind bars. The contrast between life in mansions and behind bars is stark. Prison is a world where influence shrinks and survival depends on adaptability. History shows some public figures bounce back from conviction. Martha Stewart and Mike Tyson come to mind. However, Diddy's case involves deeper layers of trust and power abuse, complicating any comeback. The public's memory can be short, but scars remain. Experts say redemption requires genuine accountability and often years of rebuilding. For a man whose narrative has been about control and dominance, adapting to humility will be a crucial test. The next chapter remains unwritten but will demand resilience. In the wake of Diddy's sentence, leadership changes and rebranding efforts have accelerated. Boards are distancing from the founder, while stakeholders scramble to stabilize profits. Some insiders fear the companies might face full sell-offs or restructuring. When a visionary founder falls, the businesses they built often struggle to survive the transition. Sales figures tell a grim story. Xerox revenue dropped 37% immediately after news broke. Industry analysts debate whether the brands can retain identity without their creator. Diddy's fall isn't just a personal tragedy, it's sending shockwaves through the entire music ecosystem. Labels are auditing contracts, executives are scrutinizing past deals, and whispers of similar misconduct have become louder behind closed doors. The culture of silence that once protected powerful figures is starting to crack. Industry insiders say this case is a wake-up call about accountability and ethics. Producers, artists, and managers alike are now facing pressure to redefine boundaries. One veteran producer summed it up. "This isn't just about Diddy, it's a mirror reflecting the whole system." In a courtroom packed with tension, Diddy's final statement surprised many. He said, "I built an empire. I broke myself building it." His tone was calm, void of theatrics. Then he added simply, "I take full responsibility." Those 5 words echoed through the room, a rare moment of clarity and ownership. It didn't erase the damage or silence the victims, but it marked a turning point in his story. The courtroom fell silent, reflecting the gravity of a man confronting his legacy. Sean Combs was more than a mogul, he was a cultural movement, a symbol of ambition and reinvention. But unchecked power eventually consumes itself from within. His empire didn't collapse overnight. It cracked slowly, under the weight of hidden secrets and relentless scrutiny. This case is far from over. New chapters are unfolding, and the fallout will continue reshaping industries beyond music and business. Stay tuned as we track every twist in this extraordinary story. For more in-depth breakdowns and updates, subscribe now. Sean Combs was more than a mogul, he was a cultural movement, a symbol of ambition and reinvention. But unchecked power eventually consumes itself from within. His empire didn't collapse overnight. It cracked slowly, under the weight of hidden secrets and relentless scrutiny. This case is far from over. New chapters are unfolding, and the fallout will continue reshaping industries beyond music and business. Stay tuned as we track every twist in this extraordinary story. For more in-depth breakdowns and updates, subscribe now.